But I was born into the war to a certain extent. War was really a part of what everything was. I didn't know any different. I can remember we had a fruiterer that used to come round and deliver. On this one occasion, somebody had said that he had bananas. I waited in a long queue with my mother. This was probably my first experience of remembering what a banana was. And I didn't like them. It ended up as a big disappointment, really. My mother queuing all that time, and I wouldn't eat the banana in the end. So it was a big struggle, I suppose, for them to try and keep us healthy because the food wasn't available. In school, we used to have a square of cheese on a piece of bread, and we always called them Oslos. I only discovered, perhaps in the last few years, that Norway was sending food over, and so these squares had probably come from Oslo. To me, they were Oslos. They weren't cheese, they were Oslos. And apparently there's something called an Oslo meal. I remember somebody had painted a large VE sign on the wall. Shortly after that, there was a bonfire in the street and old furniture and boxes and things like that. Now, the street that I lived in is sort of flat at the top, and then it eventually goes off and quite steep. For some reason beyond me, they'd started putting these tables a little bit on the flat bit, but mostly they were going down the steep bit. So you got near the bottom end there, cups and things like that were almost tipping over because of the slope. Everybody had a good time. But then, of course, we were all banished to bed as the time got on. The adults then, of course, fueled by drink, were having a great time. So you wanted to see adults behaving silly, I suppose, as a child. So I sneaked to the front window to watch them dancing and playing about in the street. This was a big event, something big had happened, something really momentous from that. I suppose that's why it sticks in my memory, till eventually I was spotted and was warned never to get out of bed again. So that was the end of celebrations that I can remember.